Hello, and welcome to Punch Fair in the Face. I'm your host, Shannon, and I ain't even scared. However, I haven't been feeling too inspired, which is what we're going to talk about today. Inspiration. I wait for inspiration to hit. What am I waiting for? What are we waiting for? We're waiting for that light bulb to go off, that great idea that lights us up, or that or motivation to do that thing that we've been wanting to do. I have learned to just wait, to not force it, not cajole it. Try not to have any guilt or shame if I blow things off a little longer, kick that ball down the road. Because when I do, I realize it will hit. Inspiration will hit, it will come. Usually at inconvenient moments, like when your kids are waiting in the car, your husband and kids are waiting in the car for you, and all of a sudden you're cleaning out a drawer. Like, oh my gosh, bad timing. But why is that? Why is that right then you clean out the drawer? I think a lot of women can relate. It's because we were running around like a chicken with our head cut off, right? In motion, trying to get stuff done before we're ready to leave, right? And when you're in motion, that is very often when motivation or inspiration hits, right? I've talked about that. God meets you in motion, and action squashes anxiety. So usually it's when you're doing that, all of a sudden you're cleaning out the drawer, they're waiting in the car. But you know what? Sometimes they can wait because it just takes a minute. That drawer that's been so daunting really only took a minute to clean out. And they can wait because they didn't help you get ready anyway. Let's face it. Did they turn off any lights? No. Did they lock any doors? No. Does the dog and cat, do they have any water? No. They don't even think about that. They're just waiting in the car. So as far as I'm concerned, they could keep waiting while I clean out this drawer. I remember when I was a kid waiting in the car for my mom, and my dad would say, "Oh, where's your mother? She's in there ironing the curtains." And I didn't know what that meant, but that's so funny. I totally get it now, right? She's ironing the curtains. It's probably more of a woman thing. I don't know. I don't mean to genderize, but that's I'm looking at my camera right now, this Zoom thing. If anyone has this new update, it does this thing where it zooms in and zooms out, and it's really creepy, and I don't like it. Stop it. All right. So anyway, so inspiration. So it hits because Einstein once said, no problem is ever solved in the same consciousness in which it was created. So sometimes you just got to move on, right? And that happens all the time. You forget what you were saying, you just gotta move on, then it comes back to you. So, I've learned that everything kinda has a divine timing, that in a lot of ways, God keeps our calendar for us, and if you trust in that, and because I've learned in retrospect that by me waiting or procrastinating or blowing something off, which is how I felt at the time, that I was blowing something off, I just couldn't get motivated, that it actually worked in my favor. Right? That the universe actually had my back on that one. I've learned that again and again and again. Like for example, I need to refinance my house. I'm procrastinating, and then interest rates drop, and you're like, "Oh, I'm so glad I procrastinated." Or you want to go, you have to go somewhere, and you don't want to, so you cancel, you blow it off. Then you find out that there's a big accident on the freeway, and thank God you didn't go because you would have been stuck in that, right? I mean, we've all had experiences like that. So sometimes if you trust that everything happens for a reason, right? And if you can, I can't call it listening to my intuition when like I don't go to something and it was for a reason, or when I wait to do something and it turns out to be in my benefit. But it doesn't feel like intuition because it feels like I'm procrastinating, right? But I trust that inspiration will hit. And when that does, that feels more like intuition, right? Then that spark goes off. And when you're blowing something off, it feels more like guilt and shame. And quite frankly, it does not feel divinely inspired. But we need to learn to trust our bodies and trust our gut. because we're connected to our spirit through our gut, through our sacral chakra right here, our achievement chakra. And the word inspiration literally means to be in spirit. Inspiration, to be in spirit. So what does it mean to be in spirit? I think it means to just be in flow of life, to go to trust the flow, go into flow. I believe to aspire is spirit in action. And once that spark hits, we've all been there. It's flow time, and time slows down and virtually disappears as your energy flows with ease, and those projects that or hobbies that you thought were so daunting take no effort at all. And that's true divine inspiration and spirit in action. And we've all felt that. And it's a beautiful thing. And you just sometimes have to wait for it to hit and trust that it will in the time that it's meant to, and so what about those times you just can't motivate? So I talk a lot about this, doing something. But my mother-in-law once said something to me. I think this is what it was about. I was having a lot of guilt because it was winter and I wasn't riding my horses and they were getting fat. And I'm just not very, I'm not, hey, I have a lot of fear with bad weather. That's where I'm not fearless. I'm like, I do not like to be cold. Let's just put it this way. If I was in one of those like zombie apocalypse shows, I'd be dead by end of season 1 for sure. Like I'm not a big survivalist. Like I can't, they'd keep me around because I'm a little nutty and I'd be an interesting character for season 1, but I would definitely die. I would definitely get killed off. So I know myself. It's important to know thyself, by the way. So I was having this guilt about it. And I think my mother-in-law said, well, there's a season for everything. And she had no idea how much that meant or how that I took that to heart in so many ways. I think she once said it about friendships too. And there's a season for friendships. And that also is important because people come into your life under soul contracts and they come and go. And sometimes they're meant to just be there for us, whatever. But it's interesting. There's a season for everything. So, you hold tight. The weather will change. It's all going to be okay. Enjoy what you feel like doing in this season, right now, today, with no guilt, no shame, no coercion. Just, play when you feel like playing, sleep when you feel like sleeping, clean when you feel like cleaning. You have to work when you have to work. That's a whole other thing. If you're not inspired by your work, and many of us aren't, that's about scheduling sometimes, but you got to work. Everyone has to work. Nobody gets away with it out of this life without some kind of work. Like I find brushing my teeth to be work that I don't enjoy. I mean, I don't want you to think I don't like clean teeth. I do like clean teeth. It's just like, it's work. Anyway, and that's hard to be inspired, but sometimes I wait till I'm inspired to brush my teeth too. Who knows? But in your free time is yours, and it'll all get done when it's supposed to get done. And I know that's easier said than done, because how do you know when it's time to do something? You don't. But you do know when it's not, right? You feel it. You just feel it sometimes. If you don't feel like doing something, then don't do it. Listen to your body, And that's always been hard for me because I go to immediately to guilt and shame and anxiety. So that's where I talk about doing the next indicated action. If you're one of those kind of people, well, then just do something. I mean, just whatever's in front of you, right? Okay, empty the dishwasher, open the mail, make a phone call, book a dentist appointment. Maybe actually, oh, here's one. Maybe actually get quiet with your body for a minute. Oh, and just breathe. Oh, and see how you feel. Because we carry everything in our bodies. And remember Einstein, change of consciousness, So at some point when you're like doing something or having a change of consciousness, that spark will hit. That idea will come, that email will get written, that painting will get created, that phone call will get made, those legs will get shaved, and that drawer will finally get cleaned out. I hope your timing's better than mine and your husband and kids aren't waiting in the car for you while you're cleaning out that drawer. Anyway, that's my take on inspiration. In spirit, waiting for inspiration to hit, trusting that everything has a divine timing, that the universe does in fact have our back. And when in fear or anxiety, do something. The next indicated action, whatever that is, and you shall find inspiration will come. It always does. And until then, punch fear in the face, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.